Welcome to your coverage of Missoula's sports heroes. You're tuned in to the Missoula Prep Sports Network live stream of local sports. This presentation of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness, the only gym from Montana for Montana. MPSN is your leader in Missoula's prep sports. We now take you to the action on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Hello everyone and welcome into the Missoula Prep Sports Network's coverage of high school sports. We're at Rollin Field for some soccer action as the Loyola Breakers and the Stevensville Yellow Jackets are going to play. Let's go ahead and let our PA announcer Eric give us our starting lineups.
Educational athletics are what sets this event apart from other levels of competition. Your cooperation and support of the values promoted by these two schools is appreciated. Now introducing the Lady Yellow Jackets, number 1, Annika Thorsel, number 3, Mackenzie Brownlee, number 4, Olivia Pareto, number 5, Addie Rodoff, number 6, Julianne Lessig, number 7, Maya Marble, number 9, Claire Montague, number 10, Claire Hutchinson, number 11, Ashton Lewis, number 13, Cassidy Albert, number 14, Taylor Springer, number 15, Kristen Pauley, number 18, Madeline Saucy, number 19, Evan Alexander, number 20, Josie Lewis, number 21, Delaney Lawrence, number 22, Kelson Zahn, number 23, Victoria Yuskowski, number 25, Claudia Ganegas, and the Stevensville coach is Nick Easy. And now introducing your Loyola Sacred Heartbreaker, starting with the senior class, number 4, Aaron Dahl, number 2, senior captain Sid Kopan, number 11, Carly Lechner, number 13, senior captain McKenna Brown, number 18, Isadora Tomazelli. The juniors with number 3, Giselle Huffman, number 19, Isabella Johnston, number 1, and in goal, junior captain Megan Newman. The sophomores with number 17, Evelyn Dumbwa Sashan, number 9, Lexi Von Dorsten, number 6, Addison Jacobson, number 12, Amelia Creek, and number 10, Lainey Walker. The freshman with number 8, Moira Antrim, number 5, Annika Chavez, number 7, Morgan Newman, and number 14, Megan Reese. The Breakers head coach is Stephanie Reardon.
Alrighty, so there's your starting lineups for today's match between the Loyola Breakers and the Stevensville Yellow Jackets. And one thing of note is the defender, Mariah Antrim, is not suited up today. She did have an injury on Saturday. She played a little bit afterwards, but I'm sure after getting in to see a doctor, they might have held her back now for today's game. So we'll have the Loyola Breakers and the Stevensville Yellow Jackets. The boys played just a few moments ago as the Rams and the Yellow Jackets would finish in a 3-3 tie. So now the girls will line up and challenge. And the Breakers playing very well, coming off of a win over Hamilton. They took and swept the Hamilton Lady Broncs this year. A win in Hamilton and a win here at Rollin Field. The sun has graced us with its presence for a few moments, but folks, that wind is crisp. The Loyola Breakers, as the field sits east to west, will defend the eastern side of the field. Stevensville will have the ball first. Tomazelli will be in for. They'll drop Von Dorsten back to the defensive position, and they'll put Tomazelli up as a midfielder. And the Breakers wearing their scarlet red jerseys. They've got a Columbia blue stripe on the sleeves with a white name and number Loyola Breaker on the front and back. The Yellow Jackets, black shorts with a white top and a black name and number. And we are underway as the clock has officially started here at Rollin Field. And Stevensville will drop it back and let their defenders use time and space. Ball on the near side of the field at the feet of Claire Hutchison. She'll feed it forward. And we get a whistle, Olivia Pareto, and they're going to say this is out of bounds off the breakers. Here's the quick throw in. And controlling, Walker chasing down, Kopang and Walker right on top of Kelson Zahn. And fed through, dropped back, and Lechner will have a boot, a good deflection, but Lechner collects it once again. We go out of bounds, and this time they'll say it is a Stevensville throw-in just over midfield on the breaker side of the field. So a quick throw. There's Chavez to jump in, and the deflection off of Chavez will have the throw-in in the exact same spot. It's Cassidy Albert with the throw-in, and Chavez is there once again, but this time taken off the ball by Mackenzie Brownlee. And Walker will battle at midfield. Walker with the takeaway. She's got Kopang on the near side and Tomazelli on the far side. Walker with time and space as they're letting her dribble ahead. She'll cut back to the inside, and an outside shot off target will bring up a goal kick. The keeper for Stevensville is Addie Roldoff, and it's Megan Newman in for the Breakers. Ball on the far side. Huffman will come down the far sideline. It's Kopang at the top of the box trying to feed it to Walker, but off-target pass cleared out and now sent back in. Kopang trying to control. They had senior day festivities here at the field. As this one's dropped back to Lechner. Lechner with a good foot, switching fields. Tomazelli picks it up. Tomazelli not able to control, and it's rolled to the far sideline. Kicked up the sideline, controlled at midfield by Stevensville. Numbers a little bit tough to see here. Number 3, Brownlee controlling on the far sideline, now sent ahead in the middle of the field. And now we get Stevensville on the attack. Here's a chip to send it in, and Newman will pick it up on the bounce halfway through the box. Newman with a drop kick that comes to midfield. Far sideline now. Huffman will deliver it ahead. Chavez will tangle up, and Chavez gets up quickly with the control. Chavez now cuts it back on the near side. She'll send it ahead. She's got Kopang. Here comes Kopang, and taking off the ball. Kopang now played inside, and the Breakers are on the board first with a Sydney Kopang goal. That was a beautiful thread by Kopang as Rodolph came out of the box, and Kopang with the light touch outside and the shot inside, and the Breakers are on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard 1-0. 1-0. Sorry. Got to stay with soccer terms here, folks. There's the whistle to start play. Walker on the attack. Stevensville now. Field a little bit slippery as we had moisture earlier, and it is a shortcut grass here at Rollin Field for the football program. As Chavez will take the ball away at midfield. The drop, and Walker tries to get a foot on it, but very smartly played by Stevensville. Kopang with the takeaway. She's got the feed to Walker. Walker with one to beat. Walker now plays it inside. Defender goes down. Walker with the shot and rolled up with the save right on the line. So rolled off will hop up, drop kick it to midfield. Stevensville controlling, coming to the outside at the feet of Pareto. Pareto feeds it back in, now forward at midfield. Controlled by Brownlee. Brownlee with the feed upfield. Peretti back to Brownlee. Now a drop back into the defensive possession for Stevensville. A chip high. Controlled And now we get the run by Walker. Walker with 3 defenders. She's got Kopang, and this one's going to be a shot off target by Walker, 20 yards out. So the goal kick will come from Rodoff. She'll go to her defender on the outside, not able to control it, and Loyola will have a throw-in on the far side. Tomazelli will take it. That will be the senior, Isadora Tomaselli. Thrown in, trying to go to Kopang, taken away by your Yuskowski. And now Stevensville on the run across midfield. And Lechner will step in. Keeping with it is Stevi on the run, and this will be chipped into the box and rolled to the far side, picked up by number 19, Evan Alexander. And now Round will clear it out. Walker picks it up. Walker with 1 defender in front and 1 flanking from behind, and this one gets through the defense. Kopang will chase it down. Kopang to challenge, and it's fed ahead. Now at the feet of Albert. Albert and Chavez will go toe-to-toe, and they'll say this is a throw-in for Stevi. Craig, now Lechner with a chip back into Stevi territory, fed to Kopang by Chavez. Kopang gives it to Walker. Walker 20 yards outside the box, now closes. She's on top of the box, splits the defenders, has one. Off the deflection of the defender, she'll take the shot. Not good, across the lip of the goal, and a good save by Roldoff, out of bounds. Roldoff is going to have her hands full with Laney Walker on the run today. Huffman with the throw-in. Feed to Walker, and Roldoff not able to hold on to the ball, out of bounds, and we have our off the end line, and we will have our first corner kick, which will be taken by Huffman. Far flag on the western side of the field. Here's Huffman with the chip into the box. It deflects off. Kopang is there, and Kopang puts it in the back of the net for the Rams. And Loyola will take a 2-0 lead here at Rollin Field. 2-0. Sorry, getting off my soccer terms here. So Stevensville will reset. The drop on the opening kick after the score. Controlled by Stevi. Brought to the near side by Zahn. Zahn will feed it through. And now to the outside. And Chavez to challenge. Chavez will be knocked off the ball. No whistle. Incidental contact is what they're going to say. Controlled now by Stevensville's Brownlee. Brownlee has it taken off and picking it up. Now Kopang. Kopang with it on the near side at midfield. Kopang challenge. Kopang around 1 defender. She's got 1 behind her. Kopang continues to battle. Now fed ahead to Chavez. Chavez on the outside of the box on the near side. Chavez into the box. She'll send it to Walker, and the deflection is too much. Roldoff has to jump back on the ball as she has a hard time collecting it. Drop kick. Short of midfield, but Alexander will pick it up. Alexander challenged by Craig at midfield. She'll drop it back now. Fed to the middle of the field. Walker gets a touch on it before Stevensville does. Walker has 1 on either side as she crosses midfield, waits, feeds it to Chavez. Chavez with a challenger as she crosses the 30-yard line, getting deep into Stevi territory. Loyola goes right to left on the screen. Craig with a good challenge. Picked up by Stevi and now pushed to the outside by Pareto. Pareto will give it off to number 20, Josie Lewis. Lewis in the middle of the field. Plays it outside wide to switch fields on the far side. Challenged by Huffman. And Von Dorsten will pick it up on the far side with time and space. She now sends it ahead. A header places it in the possession of Stevi. Brownlee around Chavez. Brownlee with the drive now. Brownlee gives it off. Now drop to Alexander. Alexander in the middle of the field. Brownlee outside the box. And now dropped back. Stevensville using space. On the far side now is Brownlee. She'll feed it into the box, having a run. Dribbling in. Inside the box, Newman with a deflection, and we'll have a corner kick coming now for Stevie on the far corner. Good play by Olivia Pareto. And they're actually going to say this is going to be a goal kick. So goal kick coming for Newman off the near corner of the keeper box. Short kick, controlled by Stevie. Comes to the near side, out of bounds, and this should be a Stevie throw, and it will be. Taking the throw will be Pareto. And the deflection off of Craig puts it back out of bounds. So Stevensville will work their way up the near sideline towards the Rams' goal. Dropped back to Zahn. Zahn outside to Pareto, and Chavez will take it away. Chavez and Zahn together. Zahn taking her time. Chavez right there. Chavez with a toe into the dribble, and she'll get it out of bounds. This will be a Stevensville throw-in, and it'll be right at midfield on the near side. Here's the throw. Tomazelli, and it gets by Tomazelli, so it'll be collected and sent ahead by Stevensville. Alexander collects it on the Loyola side of the field. Craig with a touch on it, and now Brownlee in the middle of the field as she drives deep. Chavez will challenge. Walker is there to help out. Brownlee takes it to the outside, now cuts it back inside. She's got a drop and uses it. Going to Zahn. I'll have to find out if Kelson Zahn, the freshman, is related to Daniela Zahn, the Florence Falcon superstar. Deflection off of Round, and it'll be Walker to pick it up. Walker on the run. Walker has one ahead, splits the defenders. Defender gets a toe on it, and it's taken away. Placed outside. Huffman will pick it up. Huffman on the far sideline plays it ahead to Walker, but a good defensive toe, and Brownlee collects in the middle of the field at midfield. Now it's outside to Lewis. And Oskowski sends it ahead where Newman will collect it for the Breakers. Here's the drop kick. Chavez with a toe on it to control, but it's Stevensville to pick it up. It's Brownlee in the middle of the field. Feeds it ahead to Lewis. Alexander challenged by Craig, and it's brought to the near side by Pareto. Here's Craig. Feeds it ahead to Kopang. Kopang has one, has two now. Sends it ahead off of Chavez. The deflection gives it to Stevensville, and Brownlee will collect in the middle of the field at midfield. Pushing left to right now is Brownlee, challenged by Huffman. A toe on it by Dahl, and it's going to roll to the near sideline. Saved in by Pareto. Lechner is there. Lechner with a good play. Lechner plays it ahead and out of bounds. Craig not able to save it. Throw in coming for Stevensville on the near sideline, right at the corner of the Rams goal box. And substitutions coming for both sides. 2 off for the Breakers, 1 off for Stevensville. Johnston to come in, and let's see, can't see the number of the other young lady for the Rams, or the Breakers. That would be Megan Reese. Stevensville with the throw in now. Congestion on the near sideline. Johnston is there to help out. Peretti feeds it to Brownlee in the middle of the field. Now Alexander, and she'll whiff on the shot, giving Dahl a chance to clear it out, but it's put back inside the box. Lechner will chase it down with Pareto to this near sideline into the near corner. Pareto around Lechner, feeds it. Kopang is there to collect. Kopang clears it out to Johnson. Deflection rolls to the near sideline. A challenge, but Johnson will stay with it. It's Chavez. And Dahl is there placed in the middle of the field on the run, and now it's McKenna Round with time and space. Round will come to the near side, gives it off to Johnson. Johnson will have to chase it down before it goes out of bounds. Johnson has it taken off the ball, and Brownlee. Johnson has a chance to recover. Johnson feeds it ahead. She's got Walker. Walker with 1 to beat. And it's number 11, Ashton Lewis, to put it out of bounds. Kopang to throw in at midfield on the near sideline. Kopang waiting for traffic. Now she'll have the throw. Going to Chavez. Turns it back inside, but taken away by Brownlee. Chavez and Brownlee will go mano-a-mano, and now it is Chavez or Brownlee to come up with it. A deflection, puts it at the feet of Reyes. She feeds it ahead to Walker. Walker with 4 defenders to beat, folks. She'll beat 1. Comes to the near side, feeds it to Johnson. Johnson with a stop on it. And that gives Pareto a chance to jump on the ball. And it'll be cleared out of bounds, near sideline, and they're going to say this is a Stevie throw-in. Short throw, chipped upfield. Johnston is there. Johnson and Pareto will challenge. Now it's Kopang to pick it up. Kopang with a right foot and then a left foot. Feeds it to Huffman. Huffman is in the middle of the field. Huffman to chase it down now on the far sideline, and Huffman will send it deep into the flag on the far corner, and this one will die out before it gets to the end line, and the defender will go ahead and kick this one out of bounds, and the Breakers will have a throw-in on the far sideline. 2-0 Breakers on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 23 minutes left on the 5 Valley Auto clock. Here's the throw-in. Walker receives it on the far sideline, plays it to the middle of the field. She's taken off the ball, chased down by Brownlee. Brownlee on the run. Brownlee beats 2 defenders. Von Dorsten steps in, and it's cleared to the near side. Lechner whiffs on her clearing shot. Now she'll have it to the near sideline. Johnston will chase it down, and Johnson not able to get to it before it goes out of bounds. Stevie will have the throw-in at midfield. Taking the throw is Cassidy Albert. Controlled and a handball, but no whistle. So Brownlee will keep control. Fed ahead to Josie Lewis. Josie Lewis in the middle of the field, taken off the ball by Walker. Walker turns. Walker crosses midfield, now sends it ahead. She's got Reyes coming down the far sideline, and Reyes with control. Reyes will take it back inside. Reese, I should say. Challenge. Far sideline, and this time will go off the Breakers, and Stevie will have the throw-in just outside their box on the far sideline. Out of the West, Loyola is going to be a tough team to beat when it comes to tournament play. Here's the takeaway in the box, trying to send her to Kopang, but it's deflected and now cleared out. Von Dorsten. Von Dorsten now turns. Huffman upfield. Controlled. Here's Walker on the takeaway. Walker with 1 defender to beat. She's got Kopang on the outside, on the near side. Here's Walker. Walker with a shot, and that's going to be wide. So we have a corner kick coming on the far side. Taken by Huffman, as they're going to say that went off of Rodolph. Here's Huffman with the volley deep into the box. A header by Brownlee clears it out of the box. Dahl with a stall in the box. High deflection. A header to settle, and here's Walker. Walker will play up on the ball, but not able to play the ball. Huffman now sends it, and this is high up over the end line. And we'll have a goal kick to come in. A substitution for Stevensville, as Annika Thorsel will be subbed off. And a short kick for the goal kick to the outside defender. Brownlee will receive it on the far side. Chavez steps into the pass, Reyes to the middle of the field. Walker with 1 defender. Walker with the dribble on the outside foot. Cuts it back inside. Walker at the top of the box. Walker with a left-footed shot, and that one rolled off, lays on top of. Roldolph is going to be busy today. Here's Chavez receiving the goal kick. Chavez with time and space on the near side, plays to the box. She's got Kopang. Kopang plays it back outside to Chavez, and it's placed out of bounds. The Breakers will have the throw in on the near sideline, halfway between the near flag and the top of the box. Kopang thrown into Chavez. Chavez does not play on it, lets it go by, and that'll allow Brownlee to clear it out to the far side. Chased down by Von Dorsten and Alexander. Von Dorsten gets a toe on it, and this is going to go right high in front of the Breaker bench. Stevie with a throw in on the far sideline in front of the Breaker bench. The Breaker bench is on the western side of the field. Chavez receives it in the middle of the field at midfield. Plays it back inside, but taken off the ball. Collected by Stevie. Played to Pareto. Pareto will play off the ball. Gets inside on Lechner. Places it ahead at the feet of Josie Lewis and taken off the ball by McKenna Round. Out of bounds at midfield on the near sideline. We get a whistle and another substitution coming in for Stevie. Just under 19 minutes left to play on the 5 Valley Auto clock. Quick throw in with the drop. Fed ahead, and it's Johnston. Walker trying to receive it, and she does. Walker now deflected off of Ashton Lewis, and Lewis will send it. Dahl now with the settle. Chavez receives it at midfield, cuts it outside, now back inside. Chavez sends it ahead. She's got Kopang. Kopang with wheels, gets to the outside, but can't get there before it goes out of bounds, and we've got a throw in on the near sideline. Stevie. Just enough of the soccer ball to touch the outside line to raise the flag by our official on the near side. Our officials today, we've got Tracy Worley in the middle of the field. Darren Baer and Christopher Cahoon are your sideline officials. Chavez battling. Isabella now, Johnston, and it's placed out of bounds. So Kopang will have a throw in as they chase the ball down here. Throw. Walker gets the deflection inside the box on the near side. Walker will play to the end line. Walker plays out, cuts back inside, and she's got a shot over the goal right through the uprights. Track coach, Coach Johnson, puts his arms up in the air as if to say, field goal. Here's the chip on the goal kick. Alexander gives it off to Pareto. Pareto challenged by Chavez, around Chavez. Here's Pareto. She crosses midfield. Dahl steps in, and it's Huffman. Johnston will collect with time and space. Gives it off to Johnson. Now to Kopang. Kopang has Walker. She'll send Walker on the outside. Walker with wheels to the outside of the box. She's inside the box on the near corner. Dribbles to the middle of the box. She'll take a whack at it, but deflected off of 2 Stevie defenders. She's got 3 defenders in front of her. Now Kopang receives the pass, and Kopang will take an off-balance shot and saved by Rodolph. So now we get the drop kick, and Breakers take over. Good shoulder by number 23, Uskowski, to take the Breakers off the ball. Walker beats the defender. Walker inside the box. She'll give it off to Kopang. Kopang whiffs on the shot. It'll roll to the near side. Chase down. Deflection off of Pareto's forehead, and Pareto will continue to roll. Pareto, challenged by Chavez, gets the pass off. Now pushed upfield, crossing midfield on the near side, played to the middle of the field. The pickup on the far side, dribbling back to the middle of the field. Now controlled by Zahn. Played outside to Zahn. Zahn now with a chip, and it's Lechner to step in. Chipped back ahead, and Lechner will challenge it right back down, and it's going to roll deep down the near sideline. Lechner keeps it inbound. She'll turn it inside Right to Alexander of Stevie at the top of the box. Alexander has it, the ball taken off. Here's Von Dorsten. Von Dorsten clears it to the near side. Lechner with a good boot. She's got Walker. Walker trying to get to the ball to challenge, and it's taken by Stevie. Zahn picks it up once again. Here's a chipper by Chavez for Loyola. And Chavez in the middle of the field. She'll send it. She's got Kopang. Kopang on the run to the near side of the box. She's got Walker in the middle of the box. Kopang settles and waits. One defender plays to the top of the box, and the chipper, and rolled off. Will jump on it. Rolled off is going to get her money's worth this afternoon, if you will. Midfield, Alexander, and it's taken off the ball by Dahl. Fed outside, Huffman sends it forward, controlled by Zahn. Zahn sends it outside. Huffman to challenge. Chase down, and Von Dorsten will place it out of bounds. That's number 9, Claire Montague. And we'll have substitutions. Not quite sure, but I think they've turned the lights on here at Rollin Field as the clouds have come in and darkened up the sky. Throw in, taken away by Walker. Walker with one challenger on the far side, dribbles to midfield on the far side, crosses midfield with 3 defenders. Walker feeds it ahead, but a touch by Stevensville. Back outside, Montague to control on the far side. Huffman steps in, takes her off the ball, but she's taken off the ball, and Montague will have it. Montague up the far sideline, and it'll be kicked into the bench for Stevensville on the far sideline. That'll give Stevie the throw-in. Substitution as Pareto will be subbed off for Stevie. And coming in is number 10. That's Claire Hutchison. Throw in once again off the deflection for Stevie. Closer to midfield now. Far sideline. Picked up and controlled by Lewis. Lewis plays it outside to Brownlee. Brownlee goes to send it. It'll be deflected off of Chavez. Sent into the box, and Newman will pick it up on the bounce. 2-0 Breakers on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Newman with a drop kick. It's high but short. Chavez is in there, and Chavez will dribble it up to midfield. She's got one defender. Comes to the outside with Kopang. Kopang now dribbles through the middle of the field, trying to send it ahead to Walker, but it's deflected off the defense. Chavez steps in. Chavez with the challenge and takeaway. Chavez is taken off the ball now by Brownlee and sent ahead to Zahn. Zahn has a short pass. Huffman steps in to deflect the pass. Zahn gets it outside. And McKenna Round for the Breakers. One of the most reliable defenders that this Breaker squad has. Kopang feeds it to Huffman. Huffman to midfield. Walker in the middle of the field at midfield. She'll send it ahead. She's got Chavez on the run. Chavez behind 2 defenders, and the defenders will have time to catch up. Chavez will drop it back to Walker. Walker 5 yards outside of the box. She'll have the shot. This will be deflected off target, and a corner kick will come. So the Breakers will set up the corner with Huffman on the far flag on the western side of the field. That would be the left side of the field as I stare at it. Huffman with an arm in the air. Here's the kick. It's a volley to the middle of the box, and Walker with a good header. It's going to roll out of bounds, and Stevie will have the throw-in. Lainey Walker just a slight bit off target. I love the corner set piece. Here's Brownlee. Comes up line. Craig steps in, and they're going to say this is a Breaker throw in, so Kopang will bring it up and throw it in right below us on the near sideline. Substitution coming for the breakers as Von Dorsten will come off, and it looks like the sophomore, Devlin Duchan, will come in to defend. And Devlin Duchan was a key piece as a freshman last year as the throw-in goes to Tomazelli in the middle of the field. Alexander with the header. Craig is there, and Chavez will collect. Chavez trying to get it out to Kopang. Now Kopang does get it. Kopang 15 yards outside the box, challenged by one defender, has the other one step in and take her off the ball. Now placed to the middle of the field to Brownlee. Brownlee's pass to Zahn is dropped back. Huffman will chase it down, and Huffman played off the ball by Montague. Montague down the far sideline, out of bounds, and this will stay with Stevensville. They'll have the throw-in 10 yards up on the right side of the field on the far sideline. That would be the Breakers' end of the field. And they're going to have a flag raised as she lifted her back foot up on the throw-in. Hitting the 9-minute mark on the 5 Valley Auto clock. Breakers lead 2-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Throw-in taken away by Brownlee. Brownlee and Walker go down. They're going to say out of bounds off of Walker. Huffman steps in on the throw-in, and Huffman will kick it into the bench of Stevensville. The lights have been turned on here at Rollin Field. It's not that it's that dark out, it's just the clouds have moved in. We've got a snowstorm that's going across the mountains to the north of us, and some ugly clouds coming to the west, coming from the west. We had rain during the boys' game earlier. Stevensville to throw in on the far sideline just outside the box. It's given to Brownlee. Walker is there to challenge, fed to the top of the box. Craig gets a foot on it and round. Kicks it clear. Chased down by Stevi, placed at the feet of Brownlee. Brownlee on the far side, now goes wide outside to Montague. Montague centers it, but it's Chavez there. And there to collect the ball is Ashton Lewis. Huffman and Montague battle. This will be placed to the end line, and Newman will just run over and pick it up before it goes out of bounds over the end line. Newman will push traffic forward, and she'll drop kick it from the middle of the box at the top. Chavez waits for the bounce, the header, and controlled by Brownlee. Fed ahead to Alexander for Stevensville. Round is there. Devlin Duchan, and now it goes deep down the far sideline. Picked up by Montague outside the box on the far side. Now dropped back. And a shot taken across the lip of the goal, and that will be a goal kick coming for the Breakers. And Stevi will have more substitutions. We're just under 7 minutes to play here at Rollin Field. It's the Loyola Breakers and the Stevensville Yellow Jackets. Thursday, we'll have more prep soccer action as the Breakers and Rams will head to Frenchtown. Girls play at 3, boys at 5. And the goal kick controlled by Ashton Lewis. Lewis drops it back. Zahn directing traffic. Challenged by Craig on the near sideline. Lechner gets in the back mix with Pareto. Lechner plays it. Picked up by Chavez. Chavez turns it to the near side. Now plays it down the near sideline. Chavez will dribble. Zahn is there, and Zahn will have the last touch as it goes out of bounds. No, they're going to say this is going to be a Stevensville ball, so Zahn will throw in very quickly, and this one will go to Loyola now. Kopang to throw in. 10 yards on her side of the field as she's going to go to Chavez. It'll bounce over Chavez, deflected off of Chavez. Kopang is there, but it gets by, and Lechner will let this roll out of bounds. We'll have another Breaker throw in just about the same spot as where Kopang had the last throw. Chavez receives the throw in, plays it outside to Lechner. Lechner with a left foot down the sideline. Kopang collects as it crosses midfield. Sent ahead, and Walker will be offsides. About a half a step but offsides is offsides. So Stevensville will have the free kick. Taking it is Taylor Springer, a 5'6" senior. Springer, short chip, crosses midfield on the near side, has time and space, and Craig will deflect the pass out of bounds. Brownlee receives it. Chavez is there to challenge. Dropped back now. Springer receives it. 10 yards deep on Stephenville's side. Zahn will pick it up at midfield as it's chipped ahead. Now Brownlee. Brownlee challenged by Chavez. Good footwork by Brownlee. Brownlee on the run. She's 10 yards outside of the box. Fed to Alexander. Devlin Duchan gets a foot on it, and Round will clear it to the out of bounds on the far side of the field, and Stevensville will have a throw-in on the far side of the field just at the top of the box for Loyola. Stevensville has had some good runs here. They're going to throw it towards the end line. Devlin Duchan is there to challenge, trying to place it in the box, and Newman will have the keeper save off of Brownlee. And that's the first save for Newman. Here's a drop kick. Zahn goes down. Brownlee collects it 10 yards deep on the Ram side of the field. She'll dribble down the middle of the field. Round is there, fed ahead to Alexander. She's got one outside as well. And Newman will have the save, the shot taken by Annika Thorsel. Here's the drop kick by Newman. Header by Brownlee to keep it on the Breakers side of the field. Chipped and out of bounds as it crosses midfield. On the near sideline, the throw-in will come from Cassidy Albert. Alexander gets it in the middle of the field. She's going to dribble to the near side, challenged by Dahl. Dahl gets a toe on it. Walker and Zahn. Now Walker gets it taken away. Walker across midfield on the near side. She's got Kopang on the outside. Kopang stays on side. Walker feeds it to Kopang. Kopang on the outside, gets to the corner of the box. She's got Walker at the top and Tomazelli on the far side. Deep into the box, finds Walker. Walker is pushed off the ball. No whistle. Kopang continues play. Walker was pushed off the ball, and here's Huffman with a big shot. Wow! Giselle Huffman from 40 yards out arcs it over the top of Roldoff, and the Breakers now lead 3-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. She took that from the 35-yard line. The goal is on the very end as we get substitutions for the Breakers as Johnston comes back in and Von Dorstein. Why not, folks? You got time and space. Why not send that chip in there? Maybe you get a deflection. Maybe you get the goal, and Huffman gets the goal. So Stevensville now challenged. Here's Race. Controlled by Brownlee. Brownlee walks it upfield, and Huffman will deflect it back across the midfield line on the near side. It's collected by Kelson Zahn and Pareto. Pareto drops it back to Zahn. Ball comes to the outside. Walker chases it down, but it's Pareto to collect it at midfield on the near sideline. Drop back by Zahn. Switching fields to the far side, it's Uskowski. And Uskowski will kick it out of bounds in front of the Steve I bench. So very quickly, Huffman will bring it upfield to throw it in. Good throw upfield. A header by Stevensville. As we hit the 2-minute mark, I actually went over the 2-minute mark, not paying attention. And now we've got Walker. Walker with a good crossover. Challenge taken away by Springer. Kopang receives the pass from Springer. Kopang Sends it in. Chavez, near side. She's got Johnston. Johnston in the near corner. Johnston looking for help, and she's taken off the ball by Pareto. This is out of bounds. And the Breakers will have the throw in. Johnston will have the throw to Chavez. Bounces past. Walker collects it. Walker with the right foot. Top of the box. She'll turn and puts it through the goalposts. And a goal kick coming for Stevie. Rolled off with the short kick. Deflection. Kopang collects, but it is Brownlee. Brownlee to Zahn. Zahn pushes it up to Alexander, who's in the middle of the field at midfield with time and space. Dahl steps in, and Pareto and Chavez will go shoulder to shoulder, but Chavez will win. Here's Brownlee, and Chavez continues to dribble down the field. Chavez cuts it inside. She's got Walker ahead. Too much on the pass, and it's cleared out by Stevie. Cut back inside. Kopang loses the challenge. Controlled by Lewis. And Lewis sends it ahead, but Von Dorstein gets a heel on it. Brownlee collects the bouncing ball. And now Chavez will chase it down. Near sideline, cut back in. We are in the 2-minute post. The halftime coming off the whistle of Tracy Worley, our midfield official. She looks at her watch. Pareto will have the throw in for Stevensville on the near side. Fed ahead. Here's Dahl. Dahl to Kopang. Kopang feeds it. Official looks at her watch, and we get the whistle for halftime. The Breakers with a 3-0 lead on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. We'll have your Montana Club halftime right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. You're listening to Loyola Sports. Did your computer go down? Don't worry. Mike's Print and Copy has computer rentals available until you can get your computer replaced. In addition to computer rentals, Mike's has self-serve copiers so you can take care of your printing needs at your time. Do you have large-scale printing that needs to be done? From high-tech blueprints to large quantities, Mike's Print and Copy is your print store. Stop in and say hi to Mike at their new location at 1605 South Avenue West in Missoula. Mike's Print and Copy, proud sponsors of the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
When your workout window is small, you don't want to travel far, wait for parking, and hope for an open machine. Let Fuel Fitness and Nutrition ignite your life with no waiting. Fuel has plentiful parking and 30,000 square feet of weight and cardio training equipment. When you want it, you'll get it at Fuel. Businesses don't hesitate to sign up with Fuel. We have enough parking and equipment to handle your entire staff and 24/7 access so they can get in shape around work schedules. Ignite your life with no waiting at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition in the Holiday Village Shopping Center.
The Chris Stratton Show is Missoula's resource for local high school sports. Get fresh takes like...
How does it feel to be the senior now?
It's kind kind of crazy, honestly. It's weird having people above me and then this.
Get the rest of the show by downloading the podcast on iTunes or at www.thechrisstrattonshow.com.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we have halftime here at Rollin Field between the Breakers and the Lady Yellow Jackets. It's 3-0 Loyola on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Halftime festivities, Montana Club halftime. Just a little bit of a programming update as we will have more Ram and Breaker soccer on Thursday as the Breakers and Rams travel to to Frenchtown. I apologize. They're playing Stevie right now. And then on Friday night, it's a road trip to Eureka, Montana, as the Loyola Rams have one of their biggest challenges of the season to take on the Lincoln County Lions. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have your halftime stats. You're listening to Loyola Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Warning! Warning! This is not a drill.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now, whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning! Warning! This is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half price wash. Only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch. Your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Construction is tough work. Lonebro is an energy services company with more than 900 employees. Lonebro's third largest expense was health insurance.
Payne West partnered with Loyenbro to create a health and wellness program. Loyenbro built an in-house gym, and together we developed a biometric screening program.
Since initiating our program, our employees are happier, healthier, and more productive, and our costs are lower.
Payne West Insurance, a partner in the health of your business.
If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by Five Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, Five Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. Five Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We are at Rollin Field as we've got halftime. The Breakers leading Stevensville 3-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Take a look at our halftime stats for Stevie. 4 total shots, 3 on goal, giving them a 75% accuracy, 6 saves, no fouls, no corners, no offsides. For the Breakers, their 3 goals, 2 of them off of Kopang, 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 8th minute, and then Huffman in the 38th minute would place one in the back of the net from 45 yards out. For the Breakers, 13 total shots, 9 of them on target, giving them a 69% accuracy. 2 saves for Newman, 3 corners, and 1 offside. We are about a minute out from the start of the second half. We'll step aside. You're listening to Loyola Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We're 20 seconds away from the start of the second half. Loyola Breakers leading the Stevensville Lady Yellow Jackets 3-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. The Breakers will defend the western side of the field as the field lays east to west here in Missoula. There is the horn. Breakers, will also have the ball to start the second half. Our official, Tracy Worley, blows the whistle. We're waiting for the whistle. There's the whistle. And we will have the start of the second half. And Craig will have it in front of the Stevensville bench on the far side. And Stevensville trying to push it with Brownlee. Brownlee sends it in. Chasing it down is Thorsel. Thorsel on the near side has it taken away by Round. Round will play it up the far near sideline, and it's deflected out of bounds off of Uskowski. Tomazelli giving it off to Huffman. Huffman will throw it in just the Ram side of midfield, trying to go to Walker, and a good defensive deflection out of bounds, and Huffman will do it again. Here's Tomazelli to chase it down, picked up by Chavez in the middle of the field. Now it's Kopang as the Breakers go left to right. Kopang outside the box, comes to Huffman now. Huffman sends it. Walker was not ready, and this one's going to roll to the out of bounds, 10 yards up from the end line. Throw-in is dropped to the top of the box. Here's Brownlee up the near sideline, and Huffman does a good job to step in. The deflection's out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in by Uskowski. And we're going to get a whistle on a handball. Incidental, but Annika Thorsel will be called for the handball. So Walker sets up for the free kick right across midfield into Yellow Jacket territory. Walker with a volley, and the deflection by the defender. Here's Walker to take the pass away. She'll play it inside at the top of the box in the middle of the field. Walker across 2, and she'll turn, and there's a new keeper in the box for Stevie. as this one's drop kicked. And Alexander will pick it up as it crosses midfield. Alexander with a good send. Von Dorsten will chase it down to the near side. Goes to Huffman. It deflects off of Huffman's hip. Chavez gets a toe on it. And Chavez, 10 yards deep in her own territory, has the ball taken away. Played outside. Chased down by Thorsel. Thorsel will play it inside on Von Dorsten. Thorsel 5 yards outside of the box. Huffman plays up on it. Here's the shot. Newman with the deflection. Alexander is there, and Alexander gets the toe. And Stevie is on the board, 3-1. Good job by Alexander to stay with it. Newman not able to get a grip on it. The deflection is put in the back of the net. Here's Walker to send it. She's got Kopang. Defender puts a head on it. And Springer. Played to the outside. Tomazelli will come to the outside. Fed to the middle of the field. It's Kopang. Kopang has Chavez and Walker. Kopang dribbles backwards just a little bit. Now goes from the near side to the far side. Plays it to Craig. Craig now dribbles back. And Craig taking off the ball. And Stevensville will have the run. Now with time and space is Lewis for Stevensville. Crosses midfield, and Huffman will chip it. Back across midfield, controlled by Brown. Brown now passes it forward, but Round will take it away, and Round at midfield sends it. She's got Walker on the outside on the far side. Walker with one to beat. Laney Walker dribbles to the middle of the box and is taken off the ball by Cassidy Alber. And now it's Zahn. Zahn gives it off to Brownlee. Brownlee will cross midfield. Gives the pass ahead, and Dahl with a short chip. Huffman trying to get it off to Craig. Craig does receive it. Now Huffman chips it, deflected off the official, and Chavez on the chase. Crosses midfield. Zahn is there with a deflection, and it's pushed ahead to Thorsel. Thorsel has a runner. It's Dahl. Dahl will play it back, and Dahl will kick it over the end line. A corner kick coming for Stevie. It'll be their first corner of the game. And Brownlee will take the corner for Stevie. This is one of my favorite, I call them set pieces in soccer, is the corner kick. Because if you place that ball right, it's like pinball inside that box. It'll bounce around and deflect. You never know what's going to happen, and that's where you get your goals, is off of those deflections. So Brownlee will set the ball up on the sideline portion of the quarter circle. Volleyed in, deflection, and it's cleared by Von Dorsten. Zahn will send it back in. Lechner. And Lechner has the deflection off of Brownlee. A goal kick coming for Loyola. So Newman with the goal kick on the far keeper box. Goal kick gets past the first line, picked up by Zahn on the far side. Craig challenges in front of the breaker bench, now sent ahead. On the run on the chase down is Josie Lewis, and the deflection off of Dahl's knee will bring up another corner for Stevie. Brownlee to take it. Brownlee placing it on the sideline portion of the quarter circle. Arm in the air, the approach, and here's the volley. This one will go to the back of the box. Newman tries to get a hand on it, but it's cleared out by Chavez. Collected now by Thorsel, dropped back and trying to center it. Craig gets a toe on it, and Kopang will collect. Kopang trying to send it for Chavez. Chavez challenged, and it's taken away by the defender, Ashton Lewis. Lewis and Lechner down the far sideline. Lewis will play it into the box, and it'll go over the end line. Goal kick coming for the Breakers. We do have the lights on here at Rollin Field. It's a cloudy sky. The sun has not set, but the clouds have darkened in the day, and so Loyola has put the lights on. Ball on the far corner of the keeper box. Here's the kick by Newman, and Newman will put it into her own bench on the far sideline. Here's the challenge. Zahn picks it up on the far side, drives deep to the corner, and it's Walker to take it away. Walker will have two in front of her. Brownlee Pareto will chase down from the backside. Pareto with some wheels, and Walker will turn it back inside. She's got Kopang now. The defender will get in front of the pass. That was Springer, and Springer with time and space in front of the Stevensville bench now has a challenge from Chavez. And Chavez goes to the ground, and we get a flag. And a free kick coming for the Breakers, taken by Von Dorsten. Or no, it's Kopang to take the kick. There's the whistle. Kopang with a hand in the air and under with the right foot, a chip. Huffman tries to get on it, but it's picked up by Thorsel. Thorsel plays it to the near side, chased down, and Huffman will kick it out of bounds. A throw-in coming as Uskoski has the throw-in. 10 yards deep on her side of the field, the right side. Here's the throw. Chavez there to challenge, but picked up by Stevi. Huffman gets a toe on it. Brownlee now on the push. Brownlee has to beat Von Dorsten. She'll go to the outside to Thorsel. Thorsel now plays it into the box. A turn by Alexander, and this is going to go over the end line. Goal kick coming. For the Breakers. Newman with the ball on the far corner. Short. Lechner will pick it up just outside of the box, and a touch by Josie Lewis. She'll play it deep into the far corner of the box. Lechner with a good challenge. Craig receives the pass. Now Lechner up the far sideline. Stepped in by Josie, and Lechner smartly plays it out of bounds. Josie Lewis will have the throw in just off the corner of the Breakers box on the far side of the field. Short throw to Pareto. Pareto turns, drops it back to Zahn. Zahn has to chase it down. Now the far side, placed upfield. It's Brownlee. She'll twist, turns, and Round is there, and Round will have the shoulder, but they're going to say this is going to be a goal kick. And substitution for the Breakers coming. Here's the kick. Newman with a short kick. Picked up by Lewis. Lechner on the outside, a deflection. Craig will turn it though. Craig upfield to Walker. Walker gets it on the far side. She'll turn it back to the middle of the field. She'll send it. Had Kopang, but the deflection off the toe of the defender, and now it's sent back into Breaker territory. Alexander will collect in the middle of the field, but it'll be Chavez to have it. Chavez on the near side with time and space. Sends it up the near sideline, and Reese will not be able to get it, and we'll have a throw-in for Stevi. Throw-in near sideline. Placed in the middle of the field. Walker collects, challenged by Brownlee, and they're going to get Brownlee for a push. So Walker will have the free kick 15 yards outside the box. Here's Walker on the approach. And the volley. Back door, and it's going to slip right by, and a goal kick will come for Stevie. Senior day here at Rollin Field for Ram and Breaker soccer. They honored the seniors between games. Chavez with a good move to get the ball. She'll play to the top of the box and smartly defended by Ashton Lewis. And Stevie will have a throw-in on the far sideline. Cassidy Albert to take the throw. Right on the corner of the Stevie box. She'll have a short throw. Challenged by Walker. Craig is there. Kopang to chase it down. Kopang on top of the box. She'll take a right-footed chop, and it'll be right into the gloves of the keeper. New keeper in the box. Rolled off, not in. I'm going to say that's Maya Marble. That's the other goalkeeper listed on the sheet here. Brownlee crosses midfield in the middle of the field. Plays it ahead to Alexander. Alexander with a good touch, and they're going to say offsides for Josie Lewis. And that's the first time the Lady Yellow Jackets have been caught offsides. Dahl to take the kick. Chavez with a flick that will be in the feet of Zahn. Zahn plays it ahead to Alexander, who is 20 yards outside, sends it ahead, and Newman will come up and collect the roll. Newman waits for traffic to clear. Now the drop kick. This one's going to come down at midfield, a high bounce. Walker trying to block out. Walker, and they're going to have a call against the Yellow Jackets. This time it will be number 11, Ashton Lewis. So Walker will set up. She's 10 yards inside Yellow Jacket territory. Walker with a good volley. This one will bounce at the goal and picked up. A bounce. Lechner will receive it. Sends it back into Stevie territory, but it's collected by Zahn in front of her own bench on the far side. Walker now picks up the deflection. Walker challenged by Zahn. Walker will get around one defender. Now Zahn is there again. Placed to the outside, and Kopang cannot get to it. Keeper will pick it up, and we are going to say that is Maya Marble. She's got a hooded sweatshirt on, folks, so I'm not able to see what her number is. Walker gets the deflection off the kick, and Walker now will take a crack with her right foot, and this one's going to be off target, just about 5 yards to the right of the goal as we look at it. And the Breakers will sub. Craig will come off. That'll bring on Isabella Johnston. Marble to take the goal kick off the near corner. Here's the kick. Brownlee gets a toe on it. It's going to roll out of bounds, and the Breakers will have a throw-in. Throw-in very quickly by Reyes. Kopang is there, but the deflection we picked up by Lewis. Lewis chased down by Walker. Now to the outside. Lechner steps in. Pareto is there as she goes down, and Lechner gets a toe on it, but Pareto recovers. Here's Walker now, challenged by Zahn. Walker gives it off to Kopang in the middle of the field. She's got one on either side, now two with Johnston and Walker, settled by Round. Brownlee and Kopang go shoulder to shoulder, no whistle. Round steps in and sent out. Here's Von Dorstein with a toe on it. Huffman will clear it. Chavez crosses midfield, and it's kicked out of bounds. The Breakers will have a throw-in at midfield on the near side. Here's the throw, Chavez. And the kick. This one's going to be sent ahead. Reese has got it, but it's played out of bounds smartly by Uskowski. And it looks like Reyes will have the throw. She will give it to Chavez. Chavez with a good move to the inside. Chavez with a left-footed kick on shot, and it's going to be off target. When you're right-footed, that left foot, sometimes when you get the right foot planted, it's a little bit off balance. Walker will get the goal kick. Walker now outside the box, on the top of the box. She's got one outside, and she'll be split. Defenders will pick it up, and now it's pushed the other direction by Stevensville. Chavez with a good step on the ball and going down, but the Yellow Jackets stay with it. Yellow Jackets cross midfield on the far side. It's pushed upfield, now sent ahead, and Newman will come out and pick it up on the roll. Drop kick across midfield, picked up by Zahn on the far side. Zahn crosses midfield, has time and space. Lechner with a deflection, and Pareto will have the throw-in. Very quick throw-in, going to Lewis. Lewis challenged by Dahl, picked up by Brownlee. Brownlee 10 yards outside of the box, sent in off the back of Lewis, and Lechner will clear it. Picked up by Zahn, challenged by Kopang. Chavez gets a toe on it, but Brownlee comes up with it. Brownlee with a chip into the box, coming to the near side. And a low kick. Challenged inside the box, and Huffman will clear it out. Huffman with a good boot. Kopang with a touch, and now it's Walker on the run. Walker down the middle of the field, crossing midfield. Goes outside to Reyes. Reyes will come up on it, stops on the ball. And she tried to get it to Walker, but had to recover herself. Now to Kopang, and the defense closes in. And Stevi will clear it out. Now it's run upfield by Zahn. Zahn gives off the pass to Lewis across midfield. Lewis comes to the middle of the field. She's at the 30. Outside to Thorsel. Thorsel will chase it down. Challenged by Huffman. Deep on the near side near the flag. And Huffman will have the kick out of bounds to create the throw-in. Quick throw to Brownlee. She's on the corner of the box. She'll chip it to volley it in. Alexander is there. Alexander will be challenged by Round. Round gets a toe on it, and we'll have a corner kick coming. For Stevi. Brownlee to do it. Brownlee with the ball on the sideline portion of the quarter circle on the near flag. And Newman gets a toe on it, or gets a hand on it, deflects it out, and Walker will clear it to the near sideline. 3-1 Breakers on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Just over 19 minutes left to play in the game. Breakers lead, held from the first half. Here's the throw-in, going to Thorsel. Huffman and Thorsel will chase it down, and Huffman blocks out Thorsel, and a goal kick will come as it rolls over the end line. Rams and Breakers in Frenchtown on Thursday for soccer. Rams football in Eureka on Friday. Short kick to Von Dorsten to the near side on the top of the box. She'll be challenged, and it's kicked out of bounds. And they're going to say Stevi gets the throw in on this one. Nope, they're going to switch it back over to Loyola. Here's Von Dorsten. High throw. Brownlee with a header to put it in the middle of the field. Dahl chases it down. Dahl now clears it to the far side. Johnston. And it's picked up by Zahn at midfield. Zahn goes down, incidental, but she will jump on her feet very quickly. It's Pareto, fields it to the middle of the field. There's Lewis. Lewis with a right-footed shot, or left-footed shot, and this will be a goal kick. So Newman will set it up for the kick. Newman punts punts it to the middle of the field. Chavez with a chip on it, and Walker will collect. She's got to get around Brownlee. She'll send it ahead, and the defender is there. Kick to midfield, Chavez and Walker, but Brownlee controls. Brownlee gives it to the middle of the field to Zahn. Zahn will switch fields to the far side, and it's Pareto. Pareto has 2 in the middle of the field, dribbling deep on the far side. She's chased down by Johnston and Lechner. Gets around Johnston. Here's Zahn collecting. Walker is there, puts a foot on the ball. Zahn's got to drop it back, and she does. Collected to the near side, and a challenge won by Round. Here's Reyes to clear it. Can't get it to midfield, and Steve I will continue to challenge. Walker now. Played off the ball. Reyes and Zahn shoulders, and Pareto will come up with it on the far side. Pareto up the far sideline. She's just outside the box. Now rolls deep into the far side. Lechner is there. Pareto will spin, plays it back in, and Isabella Johnston is there. And Dahl and Lechner will bounce it around, and Newman says, let me just pick this up and drop kick it. Here's the kick by Newman. Good drop kick to midfield. Ashton Lewis plays up on it. Brownlee controls. Brownlee now up the far side. Brownlee plays it to the outside. Pareto will chase it down with Dahl. So it's number 4 versus number 4. Josie Lewis collects it. Dropped to Alexander. Alexander with a low shot. Deflected off a round and cleared out by Huffman to the far side. Stevensville will control. Chavez takes it away and kicks it to the sideline, and Stevensville will have the throw in front of the breaker bench on the far side. Brown receives the throw in. Volleyed into the box, a header by Round, settled, and a shot on target. Drop kick. Kopang blocked out. Zahn will pick it up at midfield, dribbles to the far side. Johnston with the challenge with Zahn. Johnston stays with it. Zahn is there. And Zahn controlling down the far sideline. Johnston steps back in, and we're going to get a whistle on Johnston as just a little too much with the elbow. And that is the first foul against the Breakers all game. So Brownlee to take it at the 30-yard line. This is about where Huffman put one in the back of the net earlier. We get the whistle, and Brownlee with the hand in the air, the approach and the chip into the box. Walker will have it short of the box. Walker with one to challenge. Zahn tries to take it away, but Walker on the roll. Walker now has Kopang in front of her, up across midfield on the far side. Nice defense by Brownlee to take it away, and now Stevensville has it at midfield. Played ahead to Lewis. Lewis challenged by Chavez. Chavez back to Brownlee. Walker is there. Walker and Brownlee will have elbows, and both girls will go down. No whistle. Now we do get a whistle, and I believe this is going to be on Walker. It is on Walker. Here's Newman to pick it up. Newman waits for traffic as Josie Lewis was behind her. Here's the drop kick. Controlled by Zahn, or touched by Zahn to control it. Played ahead by Chavez. Kopang on the run. Defender is there ahead of Kopang. And Ashton Lewis will turn it back upfield as she slides, but it's out of bounds, and the Rams, or the Breakers, will have a throw-in on the far sideline. 3-1 Loyola on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard at the 13-minute mark. Craig will be subbed in for Johnston. Kopang with a good throw to Walker down the far sideline, plays it into the corner off of Ashton Lewis. Walker in the corner, now out to Kopang outside the box. Kopang on the far side, touches it back inside. Now back to Walker. Walker will play it around one defender, now around the second one. Deep on the end line, across, and Reese is there, but it's wide of the goal. Good thought. Had the right player on the backside. Just needed to get the shoulders turned a slight bit. So here's Marble with the goal kick. Chavez gets a touch on it. Huffman, and it will play to the near sideline. Von Dorsten chases it to the near sideline and cannot save it. And Stevensville will have the throw-in on the near sideline. Brown receives the sideline at the throw-in at midfield. Time and space. She's chased down by Chavez. Chavez gets in there. Now it's deep into breaker territory. Outside to Pareto. Pareto to set it up. The volley. And chased down. Lewis is there. It'll go out of bounds, and a goal kick coming as it went over the end line. Goal kick picked up by Pareto on the far side. Pareto will drive it into the box. Dahl is there now, round, and this one's chipped off the goal post, and we'll have a goal kick coming. Newman will have to chase down the ball for the goal kick. Sets it up on the keeper box on the far side. Newman now with the approach. And she'll punt this one. Zahn will pick it up and keeps it in breaker territory. Brownlee with a good move. Now played to Zahn in the middle of the field. Zahn comes up, plays it outside. On the run is Montague, and it's out of bounds. Stevi to throw in. It'll be Uskowski. High cleat by Zahn. Huffman with a high chop. Kopang with a header to put it on Stevi's side of the field on the far side. Ashton Lewis in front of the Stevensville bench, plays it ahead, and she's got Pareto. Pareto upfield on the far sideline. It's Kopang to take the pass away. Kopang sends it ahead, and Walker will be caught off sides. Just a half a step, but that's all it takes, folks. Second time the Breakers have been caught off sides. Challenged on the far side. Pareto now crosses midfield on the far side. She'll chip it into the box. Round is there. Turning is Josie Lewis. Challenged by Dahl. Dahl gets a shoulder in. Alexander picks it up for Stevensville. Alexander has Round there. Plays it to the near side to Montague. Montague cannot get to it before it goes out of bounds, and the Breakers will have the throw in now. Huffman to take the throw. Walker drops it back to Huffman, and Huffman with a chip down the near sideline. And it'll be chased deep into Stevi territory. And out of bounds. Breaker throw in. Von Dorsten will take the throw. Good high throw. Walker to control between three players. Walker now pushes it to the middle of the field. Walker about 20 yards out, and Zahn will have a play to take Walker off the ball. Here's the run. Brownlee sends it ahead to Lewis. Round is there. Round turns it to the inside and plays it across the lip of the goal. Huffman will come to it before, and she will kick it out of bounds. This will be a throw-in against the flag on the near sideline to the left of us. Ball is deep in Breaker territory. Loyola with 3 goals in the first half, and Stevensville getting 1 here in the second. Here's the throw-in. And Montague trying to control. Huffman will block out, and it's on the end line. Goal kick coming. Newman places it on the corner of the near side of the keeper box. And she'll go short to Von Dorsten right off the near edge of the box. Montague will come up and challenge Von Dorsten. And Montague will take it off. Here's Alexander, and Dahl will boot it ahead. Zahn off the hip deflection. Controlled by Stevi, given back to Montague. And Chavez trying to get to it, slips and falls. Here's the send, and the defense is there for Stevi. Brownlee collects it at midfield, but Reese is there. And here's Walker. Walker with one to beat in Zahn. And Zahn with some good speed and footwork, but Walker will get around her. Walker plays it ahead. She's got Chavez. Chavez was onside and hesitated, allowing the defender to get there, and the Breakers will have a throw-in on the near sideline. It'll be Megan Reese to take the throw. About 3 yards upfield from the box, corner of the box. It's going to Chavez. Montague is there. And this will go over the end line, and they'll say goal kick coming for Stevi. Marble will take it, the new keeper in the second half. Ball on the near corner of the keeper box. Chip saved in bounds by Reyes on the near sideline. Chavez will collect it and dribbles it into the near side of the box. Good step on the ball by Uskowski, and Brownlee will send it ahead to Lewis. Here's Dahl. Dahl with a touch to Walker as it crosses midfield. Walker now in the middle of the field, plays it to Kopang. Kopang has a touch. Now Kopang to the middle of the field, switches fields to the near side, but there's a touch there by the Stevi defense. And it's Brownlee and Montague. Montague has it taken away by Huffman, who kicks it ahead and collected by Victoria Yuskowski. Here's Round with it, and Round's taken off the ball by Alexander. Round collects it once again, and it'll go off the shin guards of Alexander. And let's see, it should be a Breaker throw-in. Here's a throw-in, trying to go to Chavez, but Brownlee will step into it. And Chavez shouldered off the ball by Montague, but no whistle. Montague up the middle of the field, 15 yards outside of the box. Chavez gets a touch on it. Craig as well, and here's Round. Round's challenged by Alexander, but Round will win it. Round dribbles it back to the outside, to the near side. And coming up to Reese, and out of bounds. Stevi will have the throw-in. And a substitution will come. Pareto will come off. Looking for the young lady's number that just came on. Here's the throw by Yuskowski. Good one down the near sideline. Von Dorsten to settle. Montague is there, but Huffman gets a touch on it. Collected by Stevi. Kopang challenges, and Reyes will play it ahead to Walker. Walker gets around one defender. Walker with another McGreen in front of her. Walker with the left foot, and it slips by, and in the back of the goal from 19 yards out as the keeper came up. And Lainey Walker will have her first goal of the game in the 4th minute. 4-1 Breakers. There's the play. Zahn will receive the pass. Walker to challenge, takes the pass away from Lewis. Walker now on the push. Lewis steps in. Walker and Lewis battle to the outside. Walker continues, and Stevensville will now clear it upfield. It's Brownlee. Brownlee will turn. She's got Alexander on one side and another runner on the outside. Lechner will chase it down with the other runner. And on the outside of the box, shot, and Newman will have it. That was number 10, Clara Hutchinson. Kopang receives it in the middle of the field at midfield. Kopang will send it for Chavez. Chavez on the race. Getting there first is Springer, and it's switched fields. Zahn gets it, crosses midfield on the far side. Time and space comes to the middle of the field. No challenge by the Breakers. They'll let Zahn dribble right up to the top of the box. Placed in. Lechner gets a toe on it. And we'll have offsides on Hutchinson. And Dahl took a shot right to the breadbasket. So the clock will be stopped. We are at the 2-minute mark. And they'll take care of Dahl. She's inside the box on the Breakers side of the field, which is the left side, the western side of the field. We'll give a moment here. It's chilly out. That soccer ball is hard. So, and she took that right at point blank range. I'm sure that she had the air knocked right out of her, and she's going to walk to the sideline. So Kopang will drop back into a defensive position for the Breakers. Tomazelli will sub in place. We are inside the 2-minute mark, waiting on the whistle. Kopang to take the kick, as it was offsides. Here's the kick by Kopang. It'll be a short one to Von Dorstein on the near side. Von Dorstein sends it ahead. Collected by Springer, and Chavez will pick it up. Springer and Chavez with the challenge. Cross midfield. Brownlee collects it in the middle of the field. Brownlee chased down by Chavez. To the outside. And on the end line is Hutchinson. She'll place it back to Lewis. Lewis whiffs on the shot, and it's Chavez. Chavez challenged by Brownlee from the backside. Here's Reyes. Reyes ahead to Walker. Walker with one to beat. Challenged by Springer. Walker gets around Springer. Now she's just got Lewis. Walker to the top of the box on the near side. Walker shouldered by Stevensville. Can't see the number. Walker inside the box. She'll turn. Left-footed shot and a good save by Marble. Good drop kick to midfield, but it's touched out of bounds. And the Breakers will have a throw-in on the far side at midfield. Lechner with a short throw to Kopang, who drops it to Round. Round to the near side to Von Dorsten. Von Dorsten with a good move between two defenders. Brownlee with the deflection. Huffman there. Von Dorsten, and it goes back into Stevensville's side of the field. Now Brownlee will get it across midfield, coming down the near sideline. Huffman steps in. Montague picks it up on the near side. Huffman's there to challenge. Montague places it to the middle of the field, but Chavez is there to take it away. Chavez dribble is just a little bit too much. Alexander, and now Kopang plays up. Alexander won the battle over Kopang. Left-footed strike, and Round is there. Montague will let it roll out of bounds, and Stevie will have the throw in. We're in the 2-minute time. We did have stoppage for an injury, so we will probably run over. Taking the throw in on the near side is Uskowski. Finds Zahn, drop back to Brownlee. Brownlee gets around Reyes, near side, dribbles up. Chavez to challenge. Chavez sticks a leg in and takes it away. Ahead to Reese. Reese sends it. She's got Walker. Walker on the run. Walker past the defense. She's outside of the box on the near side. Plays it back to the middle of the field, and Springer is there, and we're going to get a flag. Was that inside the box? Was it inside the box? And they're going to say this is a free kick, not a penalty kick. Nope, they are going to say this is a penalty kick, so Walker will have the penalty kick against Marble. So we await the whistle. Here's Walker on the approach. She's going to go to the near post, and it's in the back of the net. Lainey Walker will make it 5-1 Breakers on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And we should have a whistle for the end of the game very soon. Zahn will get the kick. Sends it ahead to Brownlee. Brownlee has it taken off the ball by Chavez, and Huffman will just boot it back into Steve I territory. And it's out of bounds in front of the Steve I bench. Breakers with the throw in. Official checks her watch. Here's the throw to Walker. Walker around one defender, and we get the whistle for the end of the game. The Loyola Breakers get the win 5-1 over the Stevensville Yellow Jackets. So it's a tie for the boys, and the Breakers with a commanding win 5-1. Let's take a look at our Montana Club post game. For the Stevensville Yellow Jackets, it would be Evan Alexander with a goal in the 43rd minute. Stevensville would have 11 total shots, 6 of them on target, giving them a 54% accuracy rate. 9 saves between 2 keepers, 5 fouls, 3 corners, and 2 offsides against Stevensville. For the Breakers, it would be Kopang in the 4th and 8th minute, Huffman in the 38th minute, Walker in the 76th, and the last one coming in the 80th minute to give it the 5-1 lead. The Breakers would have 21 total shots. 14 of them would be on target for a 66% accuracy rate. 5 saves for Newman, 2 fouls, 3 corners, and 2 offsides. So the Rams and Breakers will be in Frenchtown on Thursday. MPSN will be there for the call of the game. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you on Thursday. Good night, folks.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Missoula Sports. MPSN's coverage of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness. Tune in next time when the Missoula Prep Sports Network has coverage of your local sports heroes.